lose Jones early and another one goes down before half time and still manage to win. You must be happy with the result, I guess.
Yeah, really pleased we were able to cover that with Tim was the other one. So historically, losing one key defender is difficult enough, but to lose two, and we had to shuffle a little bit. And Bailey Williams is having a tremendous year on the wing. He went back and played an important role for us, and obviously had to move Aaron for the first time in a long time. Just out of necessity, and he was going well. He kicked a couple and looking lively, and but we needed to pull that lever. And so that takes away from a couple of things, but I was really pleased with the way everyone adjusted, and it means that you need to ask players to stay out there for longer, and Cody was outstanding and stayed out there for a lot longer, which is a good one for us to consider, because historically Cody's played little segments of game time which suits him, but he was obviously really influential in the game, but I thought North were really good. I thought their contest, their intensity, how they confronted us with their game was impressive. So it was another important element to the fact that the boys endured in the end under a bit of duress.
Is there any chance Norton stays down there? Obviously it was a decision you had to make mid-match, but is it something you might consider now for a little while? Or?
Look, if we didn't have anyone else who could possibly play there, on our list, then I'd have to consider it, absolutely. But even yesterday, James O'Donnell, Josh Bruce, Ryan Gardner, they were all pretty solid in Footscray's win against Williamstown out there, and so there are some boys there who can come in and play those important roles. As much as they weren't necessarily at their best the week before, they're still there, and Aaron's really important for us forward. So it's unlikely because we've got options, but they got a bit too much bang for their buck with their inside 50s in pretty open plays at times, and we'd like to be able to stop a few more of those. So at the moment, no, I'd imagine with our stock set that Norts is going to stay forward.
Now you enter the bye, you're inside the 8, so that's obviously a goal. You want to be in there, but how have you rated your season so far?
I said it last week, we're just a margin off the best teams in the comp, and today we had 72 inside 50s. I think we're playing the way we want to play, but we're making too many errors with the football in space, and sometimes out of congestion we're giving the opposition too many looks. So there are some things there, and we've had some challenges, with our personnel over the last period of time, which is just, that's just matter of fact. Every team confronts it, but we're just a margin off. But as I said last week, in this game you can bridge those gaps. You do need a little bit of good fortune with your personnel and your injury toll, but we've got to do a few things a bit better than what we have consistently to threaten. So at least we've given ourselves a look. We're sort of in there in that lower part of the 8, and it's our objective in our last 9 games to see if we can nip at the heels of the more established sides at the top end and see what we can do.
You got updates on the 2 injured guys?
Yeah, Tim's got a hamstring of some sort, injury, and unfortunately Liam Jones, he's fractured his the radius, which is the small sort of alternating bone in your forearm. So he'll need that plated. Chrissy Bell just gave me a look at the X-ray, so he's hoping to get him in and get that repaired. And I don't know how long he's out, but he'll be out for a while.
So did he go straight to hospital, get that checked out?
Yeah, he did. He did actually. Yeah, he left the building during the game and went over, had a scan, so that's already we can report that. You know it now, and Pally will give an update during the week on. We lost a few guys at Williamstown yesterday. We had Harvey Gallagher broke a finger, and who else? We lost another couple, but that's the way it goes. And we'll have a break and have a bit of a rest, and then come back energised to play Fremantle on the Friday night, I think it is.
What's the plan the next week or so? You don't get your break until sort of Thursday, Friday or something like that? Yeah,
so we like to have a bit of a training lead into the game that we're playing after the bye. So we'll train. We'll be in Tuesday, Thursday, then we'll break. We'll be back in the following Tuesday for a really good session and prepare well for our next mission.
What was that at quarter time to turn it around and get the game back to your advantage?
Well, the boys made certain commitments to things before the game that we discussed yesterday, and we hadn't necessarily gone away from that, but we just felt that there was probably the intensity levels in certain circumstances were probably in more North Melbourne's court than ours, so we needed to be a little bit better, under a few things. But we had our chances, we still had a sizable inside 50 differential positive, at quarter time. We were giving ourselves, look, well, we kicked 1 goal 5 or something like that, and they were gettable shots. So it wasn't like we were doing a hell of a lot wrong. So part of the message was keep your nerve and maintain your composure. But in a sense, you're a bit relieved. North Melbourne tested us throughout the course of the afternoon and kept coming, so never felt comfortable.
You mentioned Bailey Williams, so just one last one. At the top, having a really good season, he moved him into the wing probably halfway through last year. Can you tell us about just the role he's having and the importance to the side now?
Yeah, well, it's been a few guys: Ed Richards, Bailey Dale, Bailey Williams, and it probably this is what's happening with James O'Donnell now. The boys come in and they're brand new players who are cutting their teeth at the level, and so sometimes you're trying to give them exposure to playing, AFL football, even if it's not in their best position, so they experience it. So it's going to do them good in the long run. It's going to do us good. And Bailey Williams, that is, over the journey, has played pretty much everywhere. His best position is somewhere between back and wing. He plays both well. We haven't got a lot of depth through our wings. One of the reasons why Caleb Poulter's come into the group, he's an option to play there as well. Over time, we think James O'Donnell, with his speed and his athleticism, is going to be able to play there. But Bailey's been a first-choice winger this year, and that's part of his evolution. So Bailey's a player who's given great service, and he's now at the point where he's influencing games. And I thought going back this afternoon, he just gave us some stability that we needed at times, and he did reasonably well. Thanks, everyone.